Campaigners challenging Lambeth Council here in London over private lettings are taking their case to the High Court. Let's speak to Conor Crooks. He's an organiser and a tenant who's been impacted. So what's happened, Conor? Good morning.
Hi, good morning. Great to be here. So I can give you a very brief overview of what happened from my perspective and the perspective of all the tenants. So about a year ago, and longer for some other people, we moved into our home and it all looked normal. And then just a couple months into the tenancy, when we'd all been reassured that we'd be able to stay here long term, there was no indication that this was a short-term solution. We received a letter saying that our tenancy won't be renewed. I thought, oh no, this is terrible. So I asked if it was at all possible to stay, and unfortunately it wasn't. Then it turns out, through one of my co-organisers who kicked this off, that my landlord is Lambeth Council. So we had no idea this was happening. So this really could happen.
Why did they want you out?
Why do they want us out? What they are saying is that they want to use our homes to house those in the most urgent need. There's a housing crisis, as I'm sure you're aware. There's over 4,000 people on the waiting list in Lambeth. But from what we can see, every time one of my neighbours is evicted, their house is boarded up and left empty for months or even years at a time.
Really?
Yes. So I'm currently looking out my window and I can see 3 boarded up homes just across the way. There's 3 more. There's boarded up homes all around the estate.
What do you suspect is the real reason behind this then?
I think there's definitely money involved. I think it's probably a scheme to knock down the estates and redevelop them, sell the land to private developers.
Right, because it seems like a no-brainer. If you chuck people out who are paying the council rent and you don't replace them with someone who's paying rent, you're going to lose money. How long have these places been boarded up?
A couple of them have been boarded up for over 3 years. Some of them have been boarded up for 6 months. I know that from a Freedom of Information request in Lambeth, as of April, they have 598 empty homes, with 60% of those being empty for over 6 months.
Right, okay. Well, it doesn't sound like it's much in demand. All right, well, good luck. Is it the High Court today or
Yes,
soon?
it's the High Court today at 1 p.m. And I just want to say that Lambeth is not the only council doing this. This is a strategy that is being used by multiple councils.
I think we need to talk to you a few more times as it's going on. So maybe if you can make yourself available, we'd love to get some updates from you. Is that okay?
Yep, that would be great. Homes for Reading is another sort of situation that's very similar that you could also look into.
Okay, Homes for Reading, as in Berkshire, Reading, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, brilliant. Thank you very much indeed, Conor. Conor Crooks, organiser and impacted tenant.